everyone. So clearly you can see I've taken over the show again. I have the keys to the castle. I'm taking everybody's jobs. This channel is now mine. Wow, evil villain laugh. So clearly I have stolen both Jose and Colin's jobs. The StreamYard is now mine. I'm gonna change the password. They'll never get in. It's done. It's stolen. Nah, they probably just didn't have the free time to do this one, so I'm doing it instead. Um, but yeah, so today we have a secret special guest in the house. I see that not many people are watching, but if anyone is watching and if anyone would like to guess who the guest might be, anybody? Oh, hi, Shanata. Shanata, can you guess who my guest is? I have a special guest. Also, because Jose and Colin don't trust me to do this on my own, so I also have a childminder. Shanata, any guesses? Nope, no guesses. Everyone who's tuning in just now, hello. We are trying to guess who my guest might be. Any blind guesses? 100 points to anyone who gets it blind. Swab is saying me. Shanata is saying, I'm bad at guess. I'm so bad at guessing. Okay, I will give you a small clue. This person used to play for Spurs. Who could it be? Chang is saying, is it Miss Mia or Kate or Queen Ellie? You can't have three guesses, Chang. It has to be one answer, one right answer. So Chang has lost. To Chang. Ronnie is absolutely right, as is Shanata. It is the Queen herself, ladies and gentlemen. We have royalty in the house. Um, Queen Ellie has graced us with her presence.
Yeah,
Ellie, how's it
lovely.
going?
Really well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm happy to be joining this beautiful lady. Yeah, and it's talking ball. And look, the ladies have taken over. Come on.
Yep, it is a ladies' takeover of Talking Ball, and uh, we are going to show Jose and Colin how this is done.
That's
Um,
it. They're going to
Ian,
learn
hi,
a
hi,
lot.
Ian.
Hello,
Mark
Ian.
Cousins is saying Gary Maybert. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Mark. Unfortunately, Gary Maybert is not in the house. But I feel
yeah.
like Queen Ellie is a more than adequate substitute for Gary
Yeah,
Maybert.
I played in midfield. So, and
Yeah,
Gary Mabbott was a midfielder as well at first, and
yeah.
then he went back to defence. So, there you go. So, we have got a little bit in common. And I had a bad
Absolutely.
injury like him as well. Quite a few injuries.
Oh, what did you also have like how they say in women's football that ACL injuries are a problem? Did you also
Yeah.
have an ACL?
No, I didn't have an ACL injury because I've got thunder thighs. My thighs are really strong, like Mark Hughes's, right? But I had two broken legs, actually three, but the other one was just an ankle, right? Well, when I say just an ankle, it was the worst than the legs because the ankle is very bad. And then an American girl collided into me and broke my collarbone as well. So I've had quite a few injuries, but not as bad as Gary Mabbott because Gary Mabbott, his whole eye socket was damaged, wasn't it? Yeah, with that jump up with John Fashanu. So Gary Mabbott Mark Cousins will know that very well because it was a very, very bad injury. But my collarbone wasn't as bad as my ankle. My ankle, I remember the pain. I still can feel the pain now.
Oh
That's how
wow.
bad
I
it
mean,
is.
in those days they didn't have all these fancy operations that they do, right, for these
No,
players
they
like Harry Kane
didn't.
and his ankles.
No, and it was quite shattered because it was a very bad tackle. I was really dribbling really well, and this girl came from behind and clattered me. So yeah, so I remember it, and it's still sore to this day. I'm telling you, I can feel it to this day.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
insane. But that's amazing as well. Like to have been there and played the game for
Oh,
Spurs, and then
oh,
like it's what an amazing feat.
I
And
know.
Shang is in the house saying, "Wow, Queen Ellie."
Yeah, it was a pleasure playing for Spurs, but it was exciting, exhilarating, pulling on that lily white shirt. You know, you feel it's like a magic goes through you when you pull the shirt on. And I was only 15 when I made my debut. Yeah, so I played a lot of games, scored quite a lot of goals, but I created more. So I was like a little Modric because I'm only 5'5". Yeah, so I was weaving in and out. I was quite fast. I was quite fast, but not like I wasn't like Johnson fast, not like that. But I was quite fast. But do you know what? Your brain, your football brain, gets ahead of somebody, so you can beat them. You see, you might not be as fast as them running, but you beat them with your football intelligence. Yeah,
That's that is amazing. Yeah, it's
yeah,
true. I think a lot of players do that, and I feel like most of the best players do that. Like even if you
yeah.
look at the best of the best, like Messi, he's not the fastest on the field,
No,
but like he's always the most intelligent person on that pitch.
yeah, and he's dribbling is like I've never seen anybody dribble as good as Messi. He's the best
Yeah,
dribbler in the world. Oh my God. I think
yeah,
Maradona could compete with him and Ronaldinho. Ronaldo, not so much. He was more of
yeah,
a powerful runner, wasn't
yeah.
he?
He was more
Yeah,
direct.
yeah, more direct. And he used his physicality to get
Yeah,
past players. Yeah. Ah, I love football.
I love football as well. That's why we're
Yeah,
here because we all love
yeah, because
football.
we, I know.
uh, Shanata saying, "Let's go, girls."
Yes, come on.
Big up Queen Ellie and Maharani Ash. Maharani basically means like queen in India. Like
Yes, because
yeah,
the Queen of India. Woo! Come on. I mean, you've got many more people than us over here.
yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We're quite unfortunately the most populated country in the world.
yeah,
Um, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it. Kundan
yeah,
saying, "Hi Ash, great show. Looking forward to this to get over yesterday's game." Ah, yes, Kundan, we will come. Kundan's actually my friend, and he's a United fan. So we will come. We will be
yeah,
discussing his pain later because they had a mini meltdown after the game. The United fans.
yeah, they did.
So
It's because of their patterns of play, but we'll get to that
yeah,
later.
Ronnie saying, "Big up, all we should have won."
Yeah, we should have. Very true.
Hi, Chris
Chris
Agambar.
Bar. Woo! Mwah. I love him. He makes lovely chicken. We
Well,
met in
I
the
wouldn't
park
know,
one
Chris, because
time.
you haven't sent me any chicken all the way here in India. So,
Yeah.
Shanata saying, I guess we could also discuss Spurs women's FA Cup win against Sheffield United later. Apparently, it
Yes.
wasn't televised, so I recapped from Twitter. Yeah, I couldn't see it either, but I saw the
Yeah.
highlights.
Beth England
Um,
scored 2 goals, one penalty and one normal goal. Came back from 2-0 down to win
yeah,
3-2. Come on, the
and
Spurs ladies.
Charlie made her debut as well. It
Yeah,
was an
I
exciting
know.
game.
Yeah, she's
Um,
brilliant. It's nice to have another Australian in the team because we
yeah,
had
yeah.
Kaya Simon as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're becoming Australia FC slowly,
Yes.
slowly. It's happening. The takeover is on.
Yeah.
Ian Meth is saying, I had no idea Ellie played the game. Well, Ian, you
Oh,
learn new
yeah.
things on our show every day.
Now he knows.
Just a harmless potato saying hi. I love that
Yeah,
name. Just a harmless potato. Hi back.
I love it.
So nothing is surprising to me after seeing both Werner and Richie put goal contributions in the same match. Yeah,
Yeah,
what are they called? The Offside Brothers. There's a new
the
name for
Offside
them,
Brothers.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Poitier played a fantastic ball to him, split the defence, but he's
yeah,
just strayed offside. If only he
yeah.
just held his run a bit. Oh, it's just a shame.
Uh, Sarah is saying, big up Ellie and Ash. कैसे हो तुम दोनों? बढ़िया. So Sarah is saying, how are we both? Are we good?
Yeah, we're all
And
good.
yes,
We're all
we are.
good. Yeah, it's quite early in England. I don't know what the time is in India, but
Oh,
it was
it's
11 o'clock.
absolutely like peak. It's like 4:43 p.m. So it's
Oh,
like
that's
nice
peak time.
afternoon time.
Yeah,
Yeah. S-
that's lovely.
AJ is saying good
AJ,
morning, girls.
woo!
Um, and Shanata saying Beth England brace. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, fantastic.
Uh, and a 93rd minute goal. So
I know.
that was I was excited when that happened. But
That's the
it's
way
the
to win it.
wrong wrong
Yeah,
match.
it's the Women's FA Cup as well, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I reckon the women are gonna win something as well in the next 1 or 2 years. It's gonna
Yay.
happen. And AJ saying Ash,
Ash.
and then
Ellie.
Ellie.
That was
And as
sounds by
always,
Ellie and Ash.
yeah.
Yay,
Uh,
Alexander.
and as always, Alexander is saying steak.
Steak.
Uh,
I
Brief as
love them.
always, Alexander. I appreciate that about you.
Yeah.
Sarah says, I'm in Hong Kong. It's 7:13 night here. Ah,
Wow. You see, we're
yeah,
hitting
we are
all
not.
areas of the world.
Yes. Talking ball, we reach out to everyone, which is why I'm speaking in English today and not doing White Chart Lane instead. Oh, where I speak in
Yeah.
Hindi and nobody, and y'all still join me because I just love the fact that, so many of the uh, non-Hindi fans join me for the Hindi show because I'm just like, I'm sure you're not understanding anything, but I appreciate it all the same.
How do you say we love you all in the chat?
Uh, in Hindi,
Yeah.
हम तुमसे बहुत प्यार करते हैं, but it sounds weird when you say it like that.
There you go. Tony
Tony
Luxon.
Lucas is saying, big up Ash and Queen Ellie in the house.
Ooh, come on.
Question to Ellie,
Oh,
ma'am. Sobs giving with all respect. Question to Ellie, ma'am. How much has
wow.
women's football changed in Spurs compared to now and during your playing days? Good
Well,
question, Sob.
yeah, because unfortunately for us, we didn't have notoriety from the club because they got
Yeah.
notoriety in 1985, and I hung up my boots in 1983 because of all the injuries. But I've seen so much change, honestly. The way they prepare for games, their diet, the amount of exercise equipment they have. There's so much more money in women's football now, and it's growing even more day by day. Lots of money's been pumped in, but it's not just money, it's the coaching as well is improved. As you can see from the Women's World Cup, that Women's World Cup was absolutely superb from start to finish. The quality of the football, the pitches, everything has changed. And now you even have women referees. We've always had them, but they're getting more notoriety, and they're even Rebecca Welsh um, refereed the Premiership game against Fulham. Yeah, so everything's progressing well. We're getting a lot of women pundits as well on TV. And look, we're on YouTube now. That's a testament that women are more accepted in the game, and people are listening to us. Because when you get people listening to you, they realise there's nothing between men and women. It's just we're women, they're men. There's nothing. We can talk about football, we can play football, but women have been playing football for hundreds of years, right? But now, even like the sports injuries, they're looking into like what you mentioned about the ACL. That even that, the sports scientists are working out why women are getting 6 more times more likely to suffer an ACL than a man. You see, so they're working on that to improve it. Even if they get it down to 2 times as much as men, that would be a great advancement. But the game is more faster. They play for 90 minutes. We play for 80. There's so much more difference, but it's the main thing is the acceptance is getting much, much better. But we still got a little bit of way to go in some areas and a lot of ways to go in another areas, So big up to her game too as well. I must mention them because I'm an affiliate member. They do such fantastic work for the women's game, and they've got forged lots of partnerships with lots of clubs. So yeah, I think the women's game is exciting as well. You watch women's football now, and it's just as good as the men, right? Obviously, the physicality side of it, it's a little bit tougher for the women, but they hold their own in terms of the effort, the skill factors as well. It's very exciting to watch women's football, and I'm so proud of all the women who are playing football now. I take my hat off to them. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I take my, because they're pioneers as well. They're what led to this.
yeah,
Like, people like you are the reason there are people playing women's football today in the way that they do, and the money that's gone into football. Because
yeah.
like, it's the struggles of the past that lead us to the present. So it is
And do you know
amazing.
what? Another thing, Ash, that I forgot to mention, just recently, not quite, it was just after the Euros, they awarded the English ladies their England caps because women weren't allowed to have caps in those days. So they awarded them live on TV, and it was really lovely. These older ladies like myself were receiving their England caps, So that's one step forward for women. Really lovely. Come on.
Come on, that
Yes.
that's really amazing.
That was a
Well,
fantastic question as well.
yeah, fantastic question.
Yeah.
Swab has a few more questions. So this is going to turn into a women's football team,
Yeah.
football show, and I'm kind of here for it. I'm so happy that it's happening. Ian saying, I loved Hong Kong, but rice and noodles for breakfast. Ugh.
Yeah.
I kind of like. I don't mind. Like if you're hungover, like you're really hungover, like I was yesterday after the game. It's kind of nice to have like a big greasy breakfast because it sort of like soaks in all of the liquor. I
Yeah.
feel.
I think the Czech Republic people have rice for breakfast as well. So
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Hastings once and there was some Czech Republic people with us and they were having rice for breakfast. Every country's got their niche, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Queza Lee is in the house. Big up.
Yay. Big
uh,
up.
Shanata is saying women's football was so big during World War II and then it was banned till 1975. Imagine the talent that was missed because of this ban. Yeah.
Yeah, you see. So there's so much advancements now. And I think even the men, right, who don't even watch women's football in the past, they're starting to watch. And the crowds are getting bigger at the stadiums as well. I mean, when we played Arsenal last season at the Emirates, there was 47,000 people there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
come
And
on.
the women's team beat Arsenal 1-0. So
Yes, come
now
on. We made
uh,
history.
we
Yeah.
made history. So, like, we should support the women's team simply because they can beat Arsenal. you
Yeah,
know,
and Robert Villaharm, he's doing such a fantastic
my
job.
God.
The way we're
It
moving
really
the ball.
Ellie, it really angers me when everyone goes, the women's team is playing Ange ball because the women's team is playing
No,
Rob ball and they're playing
Rob
it so
ball,
well.
yeah.
Like, I love
Yeah,
Ange, I love him, but like, stop crediting him with things he hasn't done. The women's
yeah,
team is perfectly fine without him, you
yeah,
know.
it's Rob ball. I call it Robbie ball.
Robbie, yeah, that works better actually, Robbie ball.
Yeah.
Drula saying, good morning, ladies, and morning,
Yay,
all
my
in chat.
niece. Mwah. She's lovely.
Yeah, I love Drula. Ellie Ash, I listen to a lot of men who know way less about football than you two do. Oh, Ian, that's a lovely thing to
Yeah.
say.
I went on a little rant yesterday in the Tottenham chat, right, about Spurs progression. But at
Yeah,
the end, I said, look, I can see progression, and I'm willing to give the old regime, our owners time, yeah, because sometimes you can forgive and forget, right? Sometimes you can only forgive, but I'm forgiving and forgetting, because at the end of the day, we've got to draw a line under what went previously and look forward to what's in the future. So I'm really hoping, because I see so much good the way we're playing, and the way we're moving the ball. So, and the things we're doing in the transfer market is very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. Swaps come in with another question. Best player you
Okay.
ever faced during your footballing days, plus which current woman player would you love to partner with?
Okay. Well, the best player I played with was my striker Brenda McKenzie, because she was a fabulous finisher and so strong. A Jamaican girl, right? Brilliant she was. She was at my school as well. So yeah, I played with her. She was just brilliant, because she was like a Harry Kane finisher. Honestly, brilliant.
Whoa.
And the best woman player now, well, my favourite is Ash Neville of Spurs.
Oh, I love Ash
So I'm going
Neville.
to say
Oh,
she's my best player as well, because technically she's a fabulous footballer. And it's a shame that England are not she's choosing her, because she's so strong on the ball. She brings it out beautifully. She scores incredible goals. She scored one at Brighton, which was absolutely amazing last season, or the season before it was actually. And I just love her, because she hardly loses the ball ever,
yeah.
right? She's so technically skilled, and she's good
And
off the
she's just
field as well. She's a
everywhere.
good she's a good ambassador for the club. The way she
Yeah.
talks about our club, and
Yeah.
she absolutely loves playing football. You could give her no money and she'd still play. That
Yeah.
lady, yeah. But
Yeah.
in the foreign game,
The
yeah,
only problem I have with Ash Neville is that haircut. Like, why?
I
Please,
know
like, I love
it's
you so much. I
it's
love you to bits. You're the best footballer on the planet. I just wish that you would
yeah.
change your haircut. Because it's like this weird
Yeah, she's
spiky thing
always had
here, and
that.
it's half.
It's a bit like Claudia Winkleman's, but shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a very pretty lady as well,
Yeah.
And if she had the better haircut, she'd look even prettier. But yeah, but my other player who I like in the world football is Hermosa of Spain.
Yeah, Hamza.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
she's
amazing. She's on
fabulous.
another level.
She's just on another level, yeah, and
Yeah, she's
she's
like
so
the Messi
strong
of
on the
women's
ball.
football.
Yeah, she moves the ball so quickly. Before you know it, she's past you. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
her. And it showed in the World Cup final. It's a shame that England didn't play their best football in the World Cup final, but Spain are so good. And this one's for Jose. Your girls, wow. They deserve to win the World Cup. They really did. Because they put in
Yeah.
some fabulous. I know England played well as well, but Spain were just that little bit more technical when it came to the crunch. Yeah, so I love Hermosa. Come on. I hope that's how you pronounce it, but if I pronounced it wrong, I'll say sorry to all the Spanish people.
Don't worry, Ellie. I butcher, I'm Indian. We butcher all names. So it absolutely comes with the territory. Uh,
It's like Hoiberg. Like
yeah.
I hear somebody say Hoiberg because they see
Yeah, they say
Berg.
Heuberg. Like he's
Yeah, it's
iceberg.
Hoiberg.
Heuberg.
I even post him saying his name properly, and still people say Berg.
Berg.
Yeah,
Shanada saying it's really good to see more money in the women's game. The fact that at least
yeah,
in the top leagues, the players don't need to balance a full time job alongside playing just to make a living. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
I
Because
agree.
they're professional in the real sense that they're putting all their efforts and all their training into becoming even better footballers. Because if you're fitter, you can run more, which is
Yeah.
it's good for the game, because you see more of their skill then, where they're not tired. Yeah, come on, the women.
Ian, I'm sorry, we're not gonna get into this. I feel like that would take us in a different direction, and like we have to
Yeah,
discuss the match as well.
it might
So some
happen.
other
It might
time.
happen, but I can't see it. Maybe it might happen, because we never thought there'd be women referees either, and that's happened. And women
Yeah.
pundits on TV. They're even commentating on men's matches. I mean, we had a woman commentator on our match yesterday
Yeah,
on the other channel, not on the Sky, but Sky have got women commentators as well, which is
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, and they're really good as well.
Um, Samarth is saying, "Hey Ash, how was the atmosphere yesterday in the bar? Might have been a roller coaster of emotions." Absolutely, it was so much fun. Like all of Mumbai Spurs turned up. Well, a lot of them turned up, and there were so many. There were at least 200 people in that bar. I kid you not, it was so packed. And like everyone was singing and chanting, and like we outsang, like I lost my voice by the end of it because we outsang the United fans, even though I feel like we were less people than them. um we still managed to outsing them because we love our team so much. The United fans, they're in a rut and they're not excited about their team. We're excited about our team, we want to sing about
Yeah.
it. So we were always there, even when we were down, we were singing. It was amazing.
I know. And even in the stadium, Ash, right, you could hear the Spurs fans much more because we were playing so well. Our possession was fantastic. The way we moved the ball, especially Bentancur, he's different gravy, that
Oh
boy.
yeah, he's
He's
just amazing.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things happen when he's on the ball. Yeah. I love him.
Drew is saying, "Love you too, ladies."
Yay.
Shanata saying, "Love Ash Neville."
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. I love her. She's my favourite player.
Yeah.
Yeah, if not her, Beth England, because I think even Martha Thomas, but Beth England, she's so powerful. You see her build, her physique, right? And she's come back from an injury as well, a big injury. And I saw
Yeah.
her in the swimming pool. Yeah, because there's a swimming pool that really does work your muscles. Yeah, and she's recovered a lot quicker than we thought. So I'm so happy that she's back and scoring again. Come on, Beth England. Yeah.
Tommy G is saying, "Hi Ash." Hi Tommy G.
Tommy
Um,
G, yeah, he's lovely.
Shanata saying, "Ash looks really nice when she does the little braid in the front." I think she's talking about Ash Neville, not me.
Yeah. So you both of you got the same name. You see, you got a
Yeah, yeah,
brilliant name.
yeah. Mark Cousin saying, "Don't say Neville will play for free. Levy may be watching." Daniel Levy, if you're watching, please play everybody on time.
Yeah, you see, she'll open her paycheck and it'll go 0.000000. Then Ash Neville will go, "What? I'll still play."
Yeah.
That
Stranger
was
Things is
funny.
saying, being a City fan, I've always had a soft corner for Yids. Um,
Okay. What, Man
okay.
City? What about when they play us? You won't have a soft spot if we knock them out.
Yeah. Shanata's like, "Hey, I like how I've steered this show to talk about women, Spurs women and women's football." Yeah, y'all in the
Yeah,
comments, the show was planned to talk about the game. Okay, let's do that. We'll, as
yeah,
much as I love talking about women's football always,
yeah.
and
We're
you
talking
won't hear
about
me
the fellas.
complaining, we
Come
should
on, the
talk about the game.
fellas.
So,
Yeah,
before that, before we start talking about the game, everyone, please remember to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. And if this is a dual stream, so if you could subscribe on LTEL Cockerel as well, that would be much appreciated.
yeah,
And yeah, also, Talk Ball is now monetized. So super chats and memberships are also available. So if you feel like it, go ahead and become a member. We're trying to sort of get the best content out to y'all, so we'd appreciate it a lot.
yeah.
So anyway, let's discuss the game. Um, how did you feel about it, Ellie? The game?
um, I was very proud of our team, very proud. Like Ange Postecoglou said, we dominated most of the game, and the way we moved the ball, we had so many good patterns of play. Whereas Manchester United, they looked like strangers playing. All right, they did a couple of good moves, but we did so many good moves and we provided so many chances for our front men to score. Unfortunately, we only took two of them, but we hit the bar. I just thought we were just a superior team all round from defence to midfield. A lot of people were worried about our midfield, but our midfield were the one who actually won us the match because the way they moved the ball through to the front men was fabulous. I mean, Skip's ball to Werner was absolutely stunning. Then there's a few balls by Bentancur, and then the defence was helping with the moving the ball forward, especially Udogi and Romero. They were fabulous. You can see VDV needs another couple of games to get his full speed on, but he was good as well. Don't get me wrong. But I just thought we deserved to win the match because we'd done enough to win the match. But unfortunately, sometimes you don't get what you deserve in football. But like I said, I was very proud of all of our players. There was only one player who really didn't play that well was Brennan Johnson. He was trying, the boy, but he was out muscled a lot by their defenders, and the crossing was a bit woeful. But other than that, I take my hat off to the Spurs squad in whole because we brought on some nice, reserves as well. All right, Brian Hill, he's not everybody's cup of tea, but when he came on, he looked lively, and I just thought we got a foot in the game, and they got their early goal, sort of stunned us a bit, but the way we fought back twice from the jaws of defeat, yeah. So I'm happy with the result in one way, but disappointed that we didn't get the win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I think you're absolutely right, Ellie, because I think it's the difference between a team that has been coached and has like patterns of play,
yeah,
and a team that plays a system, and a team that's basically dependent on individual performances. United
yeah,
has all the money in the world. They can go out and get a few expensive players, and the
yeah,
quality of those players will occasionally get them through games, like it did yesterday when they scored two quite amazing goals, like
yeah.
good
They
goals,
were
good finishes.
very, very
Um,
good finishes.
and But at the end of the day, with us, it doesn't matter how many injuries we have, how many players out we have. We play the same way, and you can see that on the pitch. And so it's possible we might not have this, like none of our forward line has the end product that Sunny has, but
No,
they'll still make that same attempt. The pattern will still be the same because they've been coached the same. And
yeah,
I think that's an amazing feat, because it means that we're less susceptible to losing games because of things like injuries. Especially for a squad like Spurs, it's really important because we've never known for our depth. We're never known for being having like a lot of depth. We're not Man City. We don't have the sort of depth
yeah,
where two or three players, key players, can get injured and we can still win a league or something like that. That's not the kind of team we are. So I
yeah.
think in that sense, it's an amazing feat to see something like that at Old Trafford.
I know. And we haven't lost that many points, considering we've had three-quarters of our team have been out, and either through suspension or injury, and they're key players. They're not like if you lose lesser players, you can take that knock. But we've struggled through some matches, like the Everton match was a particularly hard match, and even Bournemouth, they had a lot of the play as well. They had a lot of chances, but we stuck on in there and got both wins. So we could get those victories over the line, whereas last season we would have lost them. We would have,
Mhm.
because there was no set pattern of play. It was just mainly defensive, right? So I'm happy with the way the team's progressing, and I'm excited about what's coming in the future as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Samarth is saying Romero was too good.
Oh my God, he was so good. The way he
It's,
brings the ball out and the calmness on the ball, and he didn't
yeah.
do nothing rash, which I was so happy about. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure he doesn't want to miss matches, you know. Like now he's got Van der Ven, he looks calmer. He just looks calmer when VDV is there. When the other players are there, they're not as good. So he tends to want to take more responsibility on his shoulders, like when it against Newcastle when he went clattering on the other side. That's not even his side. All right, he did slip, but you know that sort of tackle, it was unnecessary. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so Romero sort of brings me. Thanks, Samarth, for pointing that out, because it brings me to what I wanted to talk about. The fact that both our centre backs are back. Do you
yeah.
think that Anne should have started both together uh, considering they're both coming back from injury?
When you think about it, it's a really good boost for them that he chose them over the new signing Dragushin, because every all the sort of pre-match talk was Dragushin's going to play. A lot
Yeah,
of people were saying he's going to play, right, because they weren't sure about Romero's fitness. But do you know what? It's such a good thing when you've been playing so well for the club, and then your manager stays put with you and puts you back in the side. That is a massive boost, especially for Romero, because he's had a lot of critics saying about his rash tackling, that we should sell him, and even in our own fan base, he gets it. But I think people do appreciate that he's a fantastic defender and what he brings to our game, but they also talk about the other side of his game even more prevalent. But if I'm Romero and VDV, I'm thinking my manager's top gun, for doing that. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they did look a little shaky when we first started out. I think that showed in the first goal that was conceded. But I do think that Romero, he deserves a little bit more praise, because VDV, he's class. He's great. He's very
yeah,
fast. He's an amazing defender. But he also has Odogi next to him
yeah,
that's a better defender than Poro. I love Poro. Don't get me wrong. I love Pedro
yeah,
Poro. I love the way he goes forward. But I do think Udogi is the better defender. And so Romero, on the other side, has to not only contend with passing and distribution, which he does really well, he also has to contend for all of Pedro Porro's weaknesses, which is all of the times he leaves those gaps where he's positionally in the wrong place, and he lets a player in. I think the first goal, I think to some extent Pedro Porro was to blame because he was not where he should have been, and so then Romero's left to deal with you know uh, Rashford, so it becomes difficult
yeah. I think the first goal, Udogi came across Romero and he passed it to Hoyland, and
to
then
Hoyland.
to Hoyland, yeah, and then Porro was trying to get there, didn't quite make it, and then Romero tried to help him, but he had his hands behind his back, and I was screaming at the TV, "Take your hands from behind your back, because you lose your balance," and you
Balance,
could
yeah.
see he was off balance and he couldn't get the block in. So I was thinking, I hope he doesn't do that in the second half. He did it once, but he didn't do it like he did it in the first half. He was putting his hands behind, but you can't defend like that. I can understand why they do it, but I don't want. If I'm a coach, I'm saying don't put your hands behind. Defend first, you know. But there's so many handballs that are given. I can understand it, and especially with Romero, because he's got that at the back of his mind. Because he's given quite a few penalties away where it's hit his arm unintentionally, and they've still given it. So I can understand, but I think defending, put your defensive brain on and actually defend the ball, and be balanced when you do it.
Yeah, I mean, what happens is if I'm a forward and I see a player with their arms behind the back, I know that their mobility is less than mine, so I will
Yeah, you
always
just do
take them
like that.
on.
Yeah, you just do like that, and your whole body tilts. You see, look, I'm doing it now. Your whole body tilts. You can't recover. If the player's quick, like Hoyland's a very fast player, he can move the ball quickly. But before we knew it, the ball was in the back of our net. There's
Yeah,
nothing. But if he stood up tall and then he had the balance, he might have even got that tackle in. I'm not saying he would
yeah,
have, but he would have had a better chance. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
Um, Lee Smithy Smith is
Yeah,
here. Big
Mickey
up,
Smith.
girls. Looking at Brian Harvey today, Queen Ellie. Looking like Brian Harvey today.
Yeah, the hat.
Samarth is saying, Benton Kerr was amazing. Oh my God,
Yeah,
yes, it was. And
he's such a great
I don't like to
footballer.
have, Ellie, I don't like to have beef with people. I don't have beef with anyone. I love everybody on YouTube, including rivals. Rivals are also welcome here. But I
Yeah,
have to say, on Jacob's channel, there were these United fans, I will not mention whom, who were saying that Mainu is a better midfielder than Benton Kerr. And my God, that was just shocking to hear. I mean, that shows how little Spurs you've seen in like it's just a it's just football ignorance to say something like that, because Benton Kerr is perhaps the best midfielder we have. So
yeah.
I'm
I think
sorry.
I'll put him in the top three midfielders in the country. Honestly,
Yeah.
he's such an intelligent football, so graceful on the ball, calm. Mainu's gonna get there because they highlighted him on Match of the Day last night, and
Yeah.
he's very calm on the ball and he moves the ball forward very well in transition. But he's got no one to link up with. Yeah, so well, Fernandez. He was a bit off yesterday. Normally, he's a little bit better than what he showed yesterday. But Bentancur, he's such a good important player for us as well because he links the play up so well and he brings the ball out. He's just very good at moving the ball. His movement off the ball is fabulous as well. He sees things because the best players in the world, they've got a picture in their mind. He sees things before other players even know he's going to do it, you know. I just think he's fabulous. And do you know what I like about him most is his work rate as well. He's such a hard
Yeah.
working player. Not a lot of people give him credit for that because they love his
Yeah.
silky skills and you know what he does on and off the ball. But he works so hard for the team, which is really commendable. And he linked up really well with Skip and Hoybier, who are more more limited in their skills than him. But you know, I think a fantastic footballer makes other footballers look better. They do. Yeah, so the midfield, a lot of people were worried, but I wasn't worried because I know those two players, Hoybier and Skip. Okay, they're not the most skillful players, but they work hard for the team. And little Skippy had a very good game. I saw Tyler said he only had 30 touches and Hoybier had over 100, but the 30 touches that he had were very good. You know,
Yeah.
he done a really good pass to Werner. Beautiful
Werner,
pass.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
an amazing pass.
Fabulous.
I almost wanted to rewind because I was like, was that Skip? I couldn't
I
believe
know.
that it was Skip who made that pass.
Do you know when he was on loan to Norwich? He was doing those
Yeah.
balls all the time. So he's got it in his locker. He just
Yeah.
needs to get his confidence up. And now he's being put in the team. He's got his chance. But you know when the better players come, he's probably knowing that his days are numbered and he'll be back on the bench.
Yeah.
So he's got to put in good performances to impress Ange. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm saying all played amazing. Think if Matters would have been present, then we could have won this game. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, if any of the people who are absent, if Sunny had been present, we could have won this game. If Matters
Yeah.
was a present, we could have won this game. We just needed
Yeah.
that one final quality of player, just either
Yeah.
a final quality creator or a final quality scorer. Just one of those.
Yeah. True. Because we gave a lot of chances to Werner and he missed them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Like if on
Yeah,
Sunny was on the left, he would have scored those.
yeah, 100%. 100%. Banging the goal.
Yeah. Scott Crystal is saying Richie, Benty, and Romero best on pitch.
Yeah, because Richie was working so hard as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Romero passing. Porro was good as well. In the second half, he played a
yeah,
lot better than the first half. The first half, he was a
yeah.
bit shaky in defence, but his passing and his corner kicks are
Corner kicks, yeah.
amazing. Oh my God. He's just as good as Perisic,
Yeah,
honestly.
my God, the corner, the Romero one which hit the
Yeah,
crossbar. My God, that was such a good corner. Like
I know.
I've been, people have been criticized. I also feel like people have been criticizing him for his free kicks and his corners, saying that they're slightly ineffective before this game. I feel like those people should all eat their words, because the free
Yeah,
kicks he had against in the Chelsea game, in this game, the corners, as in the corners he took in this game, I feel like there's clearly a good dead ball specialist in there.
yeah, he's technically on dead balls. He's fabulous, and his general passing. He's done a few little ones that didn't quite hit the man, but most of his passing was on point. Really
Yeah.
good. I love little Porro. I love his
Yeah,
energy.
I
Yeah.
love him as well, Ellie. But I will say the first half
First half he was a
he
bit shaky.
like it was like a story of two fullbacks. There was Udogi who had like Garnacho on lock, like it was done, it was sealed.
Yeah,
But that the other side, on that right side, my God, it was
I
porous
know.
as hell. You know.
And the way Udogi nicked the ball off Ganacho on the byline,
Oh,
yeah, it was
it was
fabulous,
just
wasn't it?
beautiful. This is a 20, like I know they're both young, but I
Yeah,
swear, like if I had to compare them in terms of like the level of player,
yeah. Oh my
Udogi,
God.
like Garnacho is so promising. He's such a promising
Yeah,
player. Like he's very, very, very tricky to take to handle,
yeah.
and and Udogi made it look easier than it was.
I know the way he brings the ball out is fabulous, Udogi. He just glides past people with his speed, and
Yeah,
he's so good on the ball, right? But I just love him because he works hard for the team first and foremost, but he uses all his strength and power because he's a big boy. Yeah, he's physically stronger than like when he got the ball off Ganacho, you could see he was going to win it because he's more
yeah,
physical. You know,
yeah,
I love
yeah,
him. He brings so
yeah,
much goodness to our team. Yeah, I
yeah.
love. Yeah,
I just I wonder if he's going to get a reputation like Romero, because
yeah,
there was this one point in the first half where he did like a side shoulder sort of a nudge to another player, and in any other time, if with any other player, I would have been like, that's not even a foul, like that's totally normal. But
mm,
when Udogi does it, I get scared, because refs tend to look at it and go the minute they see something like that, they go foul. Like
yeah,
that card he got, the yellow card he got for this the shoulder nudge. What game was it? There was a game where he got a yellow card for a shoulder nudge. I can't quite
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
So so
Um,
I'm wondering if he's going to be one of those players for us that just has a
I
reputation,
think it was
even.
not in the forest. I
Yeah,
think.
Nottingham Forest, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Chat, tell us
but
if you remember. Oh, I'm way
yeah,
behind in the chat.
yeah, because he got away with the Ganacho penalty appeal because he was just he put his arms round him. But in another game, they might have given that as a penalty. You know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
luckily for him, I wouldn't hold the play. I'll just back off him a little bit.
yeah,
Stay enough close to make him not turn. Yeah. But where you put in your arms round his hips, they could have given that because Ganacho sort of. The reason why they didn't give it is because Ganacho made a drama of it, a meal of it, didn't
yeah,
he?
yeah,
Yeah, he just
yeah,
threw himself to the ground.
yeah. I mean, but they do that, right? They do it with Romero as well. Like they think
Yeah,
that they'll get something out of it, and so they'll sort of like almost simulate a foul. It's not exactly
yeah,
simulation. It'll be like they feel the contact and they immediately go down, because they know that refs look at people like Romero and Udogi and they immediately think foul.
yeah,
Swap saying Brennan was horrendous. Looks fatigue might give him some rest, to be honest.
yeah. It was a funny one, Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think when Kulu comes back, maybe if Matters and Kulu are both playing, I don't. That's the thing, right? That right wing really worries me, because Kulu's better in the 10 role than he is in the right.
yeah.
And but at the same time, Brennan is definitely not good enough, I think, right now. He could get there, but I think he has to play his way into the team again now.
Yeah, I think so. And with Kulu, right, it's not just he is better in the middle, don't get me wrong, but when he
Yeah,
plays on the right, he helps Porro so much defensively. Whereas Brennan Johnson, he hasn't got that physicality, he hasn't got that fitness like Kulu has. Kulu's a
Yeah,
much stronger player physically as well. Like, and he works hard for the team, but he's just better at defending, you know. And he's a more robust boy. So with Brennan Johnson, he's still learning the game a bit, you know, and he's still finding his feet in the team. He's looking like he's trying too hard sometimes, you know. Um, yeah, he did have a bit of a stinker yesterday, I must admit. Wasn't very
yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was also saying Dragu impressed me a lot on debut. Werner was decent.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, apart from like nobody was defending McTominay at the end. Not one of our defenders on him. They all fell
yeah,
asleep.
yeah.
Yeah. Gave him a free header. Luckily for us, he put it
I think
over.
I think they sort of like
Yeah.
shut off at the end a little bit. I think
We
they ran out
did.
of steam a little bit because we
Yeah.
didn't even like charge forward that much in the end. In the last 4 or 5 minutes, we could have made more out of the game.
Yeah,
I
because
thought.
Ange said in his presser that three of the players had illnesses,
Yeah,
but they still played. Yeah, because they
yeah.
had that bug that Kulu's got. So I'm glad they played, but in a way, you know, you could tell. I think Brennan Johnson might have been one of them because he looked a bit ill to
I think
me.
no, I think it was Udogi, Kulusevski, and Skip.
And Skip was ill, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
I think
yeah,
so.
if I had to put my money on it, I would have said Brendan Johnson because he played like
Yeah.
he was sick.
No, that was him fully healthy, Ellie. I wish I could defend him because I want to, but that was
Yeah,
him fully healthy.
mind you, the youngsters when they use sick, they go it's sick like it's good.
Yeah, yeah, stick like
Sick
it's good.
man,
Yeah.
sick.
So, Sop's comment actually brings me to this. Richie, 6 goals,
Yeah,
6 games.
I know.
How does that feel?
Doing very well. I love him. Do you
Oh,
know Richie, right? He always works hard for the team, regardless, right? And he's had a lot of stick because the jury was out on him paying the £60 million, nearly £60 million for him. You know, I think it's 55 with 5 million add-ons, I think it is. Right. But either way, he's proving now that he's, you know, 6 in 6. That's very impressive. And
yeah.
he looks like he's enjoying his football again. You know, he's always got that broody mood anyway. You rarely get a smile out of Richie, do you? Only when he scores. But even when he scores, he's got that sort of broody look. He
Yeah,
look, he
yeah.
likes that pouty look, doesn't he?
Yeah, too many duck face selfies, I think,
Right.
Ellie.
Yeah. I love the way he celebrates his goals as well, the pigeon.
The pigeon. Yeah. I mean, when I do
Yeah.
it, I just look weird. So he does it way better than I do.
I love him. I think he's a player that splits the fan base as well because I think the fans in the stadium they really really want him to do well. You know, whereas on social media he gets it a lot. You know, he gets a lot of stick, and it was fair early on, but now he started to score. And you see what he did defensively yesterday. He was
Yeah.
helping so much. Yeah, so he's an important player.
Yeah, I agree. Like I think that, so I wasn't a fan. Like when
Yeah,
first we were linked with him, I didn't want him to come because I
yeah,
thought that, his highest goal tally for Everton ever had been like 13 goals, and before that
yeah.
it wasn't really impressive. So I thought that he was like a purple patch player and he wouldn't really do much for us. And it felt like during the Conte period that was turning out to be true. I thought
Mm.
that that game against Marseille in the Champions League. I thought that after that, like he scored a brace in that game, and I thought
Yeah,
he would now sort of get confidence and sort of come into his own, but he it never showed, and understandably so because it's hard to do anything with the team in a team with Harry Kane and Sonny in it. Those two are
yeah,
just amazing, and it's very difficult to replace either one of them as as either striker or left winger. So
yeah,
I understand how difficult it was for him, and I understand that the injury and the pain and all of that didn't help. But I feel like we're finally seeing the best of this player. And so
Yeah.
slowly he's winning me over as well, because uh I even though I wasn't a fan, I'm logical enough to point out when a player is playing well. I'm not one
Yeah.
of those people who's just like stuck on like, oh, Richie is bad. There are some people who are still on that. There are a lot of people
Uh-huh.
who are saying things like, this is just a purple patch, and uh like when he's like if he doesn't score for the next 2 3 games, they'll be like, oh, see, I told you so. But the
Yeah.
thing is,
Yeah.
it's not about that. It's about the movement. His movement, both defensive and offensive, is good. His hold up play
Yeah.
is good. His pressing is good. So that means that when the opportunities arise, the player is present to receive them. And I
Yeah.
think that that's you shouldn't worry. You shouldn't worry if the goal isn't scored. You should worry when the movement isn't there to even
Yeah.
to even reach there.
I agree. He applies himself very well. And what's very important as well, that the manager's got faith in you, because
Yeah.
they hear all the noise on social media. They're human at the end of the day. But Ange has stuck by him and he's given him his confidence and he's had his operation now and he looks a lot different the way he moves. I
Yeah.
know he worked hard before, but now his movement is a lot better and he's getting in
Yeah.
those positions to make himself available to score, which is very
Uh-huh.
important as a striker. And he's filling big boots in Sonny's boots, right? So, and he's doing very well. So I'm happy for him, and long may it continue. Come on, Richie, bang them in with your head on your
Bang 'em
feet.
in.
I don't care.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Jose is asking,
El
morning
Tell.
Ash. uh, Spit the facts and then mic drop. Yeah, Jose, that's how we do it here. Because
That's
we took
it.
your job, keys to the castle with the women. Uh, um, Tony Lux is asking, how did you become a Spurs fan? Well, the simple answer that I always give is that I had mates who were fans in school and they converted me. But the more complicated answer, as in my brother's mates, they converted my brother and I. But the more complicated answer is I had a crush on one of my brother's friends. And I wanted to talk to speak
There you
football
go.
with him. But instead of falling in love with the boy, I fell in love with the club. So
Yeah, there you go.
worked out well for both of us.
Yeah, you can never beat a bit of Spurs loving.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
If you know how terrible Dallo is at his defensive side, you won't say this.
Okay, I found this on the web for.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
it. Check it out.
That's just my Siri acting up. I don't know what Siri was being weird. Siri, stop listening
Silly
to us.
thoughts. Yeah.
uh, Swap is saying, so Swap and Samat are having I would say discussion, a spirited discussion about whether Diego Dallo pocketed Werner last night.
No, he didn't because he had 3 shots on goal, and he was free for most of the match, wasn't it? It was only Johnny Evans who was more defensively minded. But Dallo going forward, he's a very good player and he links up well. But defensively, I can see why they have doubts over him all the time. He doesn't always play, but I think going forward, that's his action. He's a bit like Shinchenko, not very good defensively, but really good going forward.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I ain't rapping this. It ain't happening. You can go find Eminem and have him do it. All the sweaty knees, weak arms are heavy. All mom spaghetti, all of that. Somebody else has to do it because if I did it, I'd probably get clipped and people make fun of me. So,
Yeah. I love it.
uh, Green is saying it's the done thing these days. Too many handballs given. So he's talking about the arms behind the back.
Yeah. I've got my rap hat on today so I can bust out some raps.
Yeah. So Jose's come back, El Tel Coquerel, with whom we're joint streaming. So like and subscribe there as well.
Yeah.
Good morning to you all, lovely people in the chat. Memberships are now available if you would like to become part of La Familia.
Yeah.
Yes,
Come on.
clearly you're joining the mafia if you come on board.
Yeah.
So
The Tottenham Mafia. Come on.
it's a community, and You try to get
Word.
out, but we drag you back in.
Yeah. We have to just go word.
Yeah. Greeny is saying it fell to him from a destiny tackle and he lashed it. Lucky bounce, but good finish. Yeah, yeah. He's talking about the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Samarth is saying Mainu could be better, but right now Bentancur is better than most of our United midfielders. Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah.
Mainu is an amazing talent. I think
Yeah.
United, I have a lot of faith in United's academy because they have produced some legends in the past. They've produced some amazing players. And I
Oh,
feel
no.
like part of the reason like, one of the things that shows how badly they're doing as a club is the fact that their academy is no longer producing those superstars. And I do feel like Rashford was supposed to be that person, and he never reached those expectations. So I look forward to see what Mainu brings to this United team.
Rashford's a funny one, isn't he? Because, like, this season he hasn't hit the ground running. Last season he had a very, very good season, right? But this season he's sort of dropped off. So for him to get that status again, he has to start producing, you know,
Yeah,
because when you're a Manchester United player, there's a lot of expectation and you've got to perform consistently well at the highest level. But because he's got a team that not really a team, you know, he's finding it more difficult because they're not gelling as a team. You know, they play like strangers, you know, individuals as well. So
yeah,
you can understand why he's not having such a good season. But the greatest players, Ash, they pull a team, you know. And yesterday he did. He played very well because he had a lot of opportunities, but the one he put away was class. Now you
yeah,
know that he's got that in his locker. He hasn't lost it. He's just probably lost a bit of confidence and the way the team play because they went on the
yeah,
defensive in the second half. They played like we
yeah,
were last season, defensively parking the bus. So you can understand his frustration sometimes. But you know, he is a good player. He is a good
yeah,
player. We know that. We've seen that from him. So I don't really want him to come good though, because then they might get above us. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
want the
Same
same
here. Like
Rashford
it's a
again.
maybe we can take him off their hands. That would be
Yeah, when he
nice.
plays for England, he can play well.
Yeah, we need a midfielder anyway, right? Come on over. uh, Ian saying, "What was the United fans' reaction to the way we played?" My God,
Oh
you
man,
the way they
craziness.
reacted after the game, it felt like they'd lost.
Yeah,
Like there was a meltdown online. Everybody was lots of fire. Ten Hag out. And I understand it to an extent. Okay, I understand the fact that they're seeing in us a B team or a C team, however you want to call it, sort of beating. I mean, they had injuries as well, but most of their like match winners, their game winners, like Bruno and Rashford, they were all fit. So their defensive difficulties were not as bad as they make it out to seem, because actually Johnny Evans had a decent game. I thought Johnny Evans had a fairly
yeah.
decent game. So
I was
so
surprised when
I
he took him off. And then
yeah,
he took off Rashford, which I thought was really weird. He wanted to make sure that they didn't lose the game. Because when you think about it, his job is under the cosh, isn't it? He's under the cosh, right? So he didn't want to lose the game. So he put all his eggs in one basket and defended the game. So in other games, maybe he might, you know, later on, he might take more risks. But at the moment, a lot of people are calling for his head, sorry. So, yeah. But even so, right, if like Ange, he always plays the same expansive football and I love him for it, you know.
yeah,
Especially in that Chelsea game, everybody was criticising him, but I was praising him because we
yeah,
went for it. We had 9 men and we
yeah.
still went for it. Yeah.
Um, I do think that, like with the Johnny Evans substitution, I think it's just because he's a gazillion years old. He's a dinosaur, isn't he? So
I
he
know, he's
can't. I don't
probably
think he'll play
tired.
for more than 70, 80.
Yeah. Do you know what
I
though? That you know
Yeah,
how tired you are if you're a good defender like he is, because he won the league with Leicester, so he's got such good
mm,
experience, right? And he is a very, very good defender. Like positionally, I was watching him yesterday. He knows how to snuff out danger, right? And sometimes the legs might not go, but your brain's still there as a defender,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. And also, when you've got an experienced defender by you, you got youngsters playing alongside. They learn from them, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, so I was a bit shocked that he took him off, but maybe, you know, he saw that he was tiring, you know.
yeah.
At the end of the day, it worked in our favour. I think, was he on when Benton Core scored? He was, wasn't he? He still was on. Yeah,
Yeah, he was. Bentancur scored
yeah.
almost immediately after the second half
About
started.
50 odd seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was so quick when I watched Match
Yeah,
of the
and
Day later. Because, you know, you're tense when you're watching the match, aren't you? You know,
honestly,
it's,
Ellie, I don't think I watched the match. I did watch the match, but I was watching the match with so many people. Like it was just
yeah,
utter chaos. So you sometimes you just you miss so many details. Like I walked out of there and I couldn't tell you who did all the assists. I had to see
I
the
know.
highlights properly and sort of like figure it out
Yeah.
for myself.
Because you're so nervous. But you know what? I swear down, when we play, right, if we're winning, the time goes so slow.
Yeah,
And then well, I watch other games because you're not invested in the game, but you'll watch it, and like the time goes so quick, and you're thinking, bloody hell, that game went so quick. Our game goes so slow when we're winning, and we want to get the
yeah,
win over the line. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's an
yeah.
eternity. I think it's just nerves, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah.
second half for me flew. Like I didn't even know when
Mm.
I looked at the timer and it said 93 minutes, 92 minutes, and I was just like, where did all the minutes go? You
Yeah,
know?
but if you're winning, it goes
Yeah.
slower. You know,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And sometimes, you know, when you score a goal, you want to score a goal straight after, and you're like cheering, and it doesn't happen. It's so disappointing because I thought we were going to get that third goal.
Yeah, I
Ah,
did as
so
well.
unlucky.
I thought we could have won it.
Yeah,
Um yeah, Ian, I agree with you. I thought Skip did
yeah,
really well
he
yesterday. There
did.
were a
He
few
really
parts. He had
did.
I thought he was I have to talk about this, Ellie. I'm so sorry. I love you. Um but
I
we
know what
have
you're going
to
to say.
have to bring you up. Please don't hate me, Ellie, but we need to talk about Javier.
Yeah. Do you know what, right? I'll assess his game, right? He had some bad moments and he had some good moments, right? But that's Højbjerg for you. He's one of those players that can frustrate you, but when he's good, he's really, really good. Like the ball he did to Werner, he split the defence, but Werner just strayed a couple of inches offside. That was so unlucky because he would have been clean through on goal. And he done a
Yeah,
few good. He kept the ball ticking over, but then he goes and does a klutzy thing and falls over himself. Do you know what? Sometimes he tries too hard, you know. But I thought I saw one really good thing that he did with Benny because they were really communicating well because they had that partnership under Conte, yeah. And he was really communicating right because he was playing the 6 role rather than the 8, and Skippy was playing the 8 role. That's how I
yeah,
saw it. And then
yeah,
Bentancur was the 10. Bentancur was
yeah,
in between an 8 and a 10. Yeah, whereas Højbjerg was staying back and staying more disciplined. So I'll
yeah,
give him props for doing that because he does like to get forward a lot, Højbjerg, and join the attack. And he was linking up the play quite well, but there was a couple of occasions where he lost the ball. Right,
yeah,
I don't. Somebody said opposite me yesterday that he lost the ball 100 times. No, 20 times. No, he didn't. It was 3 times. He'd done one bad pass. He lost the ball to Fernandez, and then he tripped up over himself on the
yeah.
byline. But
He
other
does
than
that
that,
sometimes.
yeah. Other than that, I thought he had quite a good game. Not as good as he can play, but um, I have to defend him because he's my player, isn't he? I'm not going to diss him. But there was a couple of occasions where he could have done a little bit better. But the general play, keeping the ball moving, was good because he's one of these players. He likes to put his foot on the ball and slow the game down because that's from his era. You know, you can't take that out of a footballer. but he's had
Yeah.
to adapt his game. And obviously, it's a harder thing because you've got to move the ball quickly, and he's not used to that. So um, I think I'll give him a 7 out of 10 for his performance.
Yeah.
Six or 7 out of 10. I'd say a 6 more than a 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fair with Højbjerg because
Yeah.
he gets a lot of unwarranted stick as well. Because his passing game is very good. He is a very good passer of the ball. He done quite a few good balls, but he kept it quite simple because that's what he's been told to do. Keep it simple, keep the ball running. And I like him as a player. I think he adds a bit more steel to our team. Yeah,
Yeah. Whose news is saying those people maybe influence Sky, who influenced Spurs backroom staff to focus down on a single technique. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Whose news? Tell us in the chat. Um,
yeah,
um, but Drula is asking, have we still got our set piece coach? And I will tell you, Drula, that we have a certain Ryan Mason who not
yeah,
only plays the piano but also now coaches set pieces.
yeah.
So do
Yeah,
with that
I think he's
information
doing
what
very
you will.
well. Yeah, he's doing very well. But those set pieces are excellent. I don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
many goals we've scored from set pieces, but it's quite a lot, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is. No, as in, we don't have a lot of goals from set pieces, but our set pieces, both defending and offensive,
Yeah,
they look much better. Like they look more organized. We have only conceded one goal from a corner, and when scoring from set pieces, like the ball is always in sort of in the right area. A lot of the times, we've mixed it up a bit. We've done short corners. We've done like corners into the box. So
yeah,
we've sort of like mixed it up really well. I feel like we're slowly improving on that factor, which I think was an important
yeah.
improvement we made from previous years.
I said to my husband yesterday, I'm not worried about their corners, right? And I
Yeah,
said they haven't got a Vidic in their team, yeah, like a commanding central defender who can power the ball in, you know,
yeah,
like in the great Manchester United teams. That Vidic was fabulous, at scoring set pieces,
yeah,
could
yeah,
be so powerful. I didn't feel worried at any of their corners, not
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Because they had quite a
Uh,
lot of corners as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I was never worried because we have conceded so few corners
Yeah,
this season, and like I always have faith in Vicario as well because he did that. The weird
yeah,
save he made from the corner in the I think it was a Newcastle game.
yeah.
After that, I'm just like we can save anything. It is
I
all
know.
savable. So
I know.
Greeny saying first half United's only outlet was Rashford hitting the space behind Porro. We cut that out second half, and Rashford vanished from the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's United's strategy every game. That one diagonal pass to a running winger, and generally it's Rashford, like Garnacho as well, but mostly Rashford.
yeah,
I think that if you can just cut out that one diagonal that goes from either side, that's it. That's all United have in the locker. I think
yeah.
Aston Villa made a mistake of not being able to do that, and they paid the price. But if they had just cut it out 2 or 3 times, they would have won that game.
Yeah, the United fans are going through what we're going through, like when we went through last year with playing defensive football and on the counter attack. They Manchester United, they're a club that are very, very proud, right?
Yeah,
And their
yeah.
fans are used to seeing fabulous football, right?
Uh
And they're
huh.
seeing this style of football where you're playing at home and you're playing like the away team and you're playing
Mm-hmm.
like chickens. Like we had
Yeah.
the pigeon up front and they were all chickens. They were, you know what I mean, right? And all right, yeah, they created 2 goals, but other than that, they didn't do really much. Apart,
Uh huh.
Rashford had a few opportunities, but he wasted them. Um, but we were on the front foot for the whole of the game. Our sole intention was to play football, and we schooled them. We schooled them. We showed them how to play football. Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
Spurs.
Absolutely. Come on, you Spurs. Whose
Yeah.
news? Thank you for the compliment. That's it's much appreciated.
Yes.
We love Spurs saying, I thought the Man U second goal was a little lucky. Yes, it was. It fell into the right. It sort of fell onto Rashford well, but he did take it really well. So we
Yeah,
have to
it was a
hand him
beautiful
that.
finish. Can't deny
Yeah.
that. It was a very good finish. Gave the goalie no chance.
And look who's in the
Yeah,
house.
Adrian.
It's
The dressing
Adrian,
gown
and
man,
I'm
I call him
guessing
now.
he's wearing navy blue robes today. I would
Yeah.
guess navy blue. uh, we love Spurs saying, I thought Romero had a calm game yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
very
talked about it.
disciplined. That's
Um,
the Romero we want to see. Just like
yeah,
that.
the calm Zen Romero.
Yeah.
Send him here. Let's have him do a little bit of yoga and meditation. We'll send him back to you slightly
Yeah, we
calmer.
put some Zen music on.
Yeah.
Romero,
Um,
don't bow. Stay
Shinata
calm.
saying also a mini update for those interested. Sunny's first group match is happening right now, currently nil-nil at 20 minutes. Yeah, they're playing Bahrain, right? South Korea.
Yeah.
I hope, like, cheers to Bahrain. Everybody beats South Korea. Sunny comes back in a week.
Yeah.
It-
Come on, Sonny. Get knocked out. Well, we want him to do well, but we want
yeah,
him back. We want our Sonny
yeah,
back. I said we want our Sonny back.
yeah. Like South Korea is so amazing they don't need Sunny anymore, and then Kwang
Yeah.
Hee Chan will get and
Yeah.
Kim Min
Come on,
Jae and all
Jurgen
these people
Klinsmann.
will
Send
manage
him
without
back.
Sunny. Um, Adrian saying, "What about Johnny Evans' elbow on Ellie's love child Hoybier?" Yeah, that
I
was a little
know.
petulant.
I know. I didn't see it the first time round, and then they slow mode it. Oh my God! He just elbowed him in the face. Yeah. No, I mean Hoybier is a pretty boy, isn't he? So he needs to protect those beautiful looks. Now,
Ellie, you're the only like I understand where you're coming from because I know that a lot of he wouldn't be like if they made a Spurs beauty calendar, he wouldn't
no,
be on it. But like
he isn't.
he's not a
He's
pretty
okay
boy, but he's
looking.
a man.
Yeah, he's that rugged look, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's not bad looking, but he's not good looking. But
yeah,
he's
yeah,
nice enough. When you see him in photo, because I'm on his obviously I'm his PR lady, right?
yeah,
But on his Instagram, he looks lovely with his children and his wife. His wife is stunning. I told you
yeah,
I met him in the restaurant. I think I've told you before. But yeah, I
yeah.
met him in the yeah, and he came over and spoke to us for 20 minutes. It was lovely.
Oh,
Before the
yeah.
Euro.
He's nice like that.
Yeah,
Um,
he's such a gentleman.
So, Salam, I was going to time this out, but it's possible you mean love in a nice way, so I'm going to let it be. So I hope you show love to the channel as well and Eltel Cockerel as well while you're at it.
Yeah,
So get
there's a lot of love around.
yeah, there's a lot of love around. Um, Ian is saying, I'd love Foro at right wing. I don't think he's a good enough defender to play right back in a four. Um,
Yeah, his stats prove otherwise, though, don't they? I think he's got the second best stats as a right back. So
yeah,
I don't really go on stats. I like to see, yeah, there's frailties in his defensive work, but then there's good in his defensive work. He's 50-50. But going forward, absolutely, I think he's wasted. I think we should play him more forward because he's better than Brennan Johnson at crossing. He's
yeah.
more aggressive. He's stronger, even though he's smaller than Brennan Johnson. He's
Yeah,
just as fast. I think he's very fast, and his passing is
yeah,
on point. You know, so
yeah.
I think
And I'll tell you
we could get a
another
proper right
problem.
back.
I also feel like while his forward play is very good, I'm quite like I love the work he does on dead balls. I love his like some of his crossing is amazing. Like that
Yeah,
Liverpool game, the own goal, the cross was a
yeah,
Poro cross. It was almost pinpoint. It was so good. But
yeah,
so I love that about Pedro. But I
yeah,
will say that I do think that if he were to play as winger, we wouldn't be so happy with him. Like, we want to see it now, but I think we wouldn't be so happy with him because his end product, unlike Gareth Bale, who was moved forward from fullback and he became like an amazing winger because he had this goal, un like unforeseen, amazing goal scoring ability,
Yeah,
that just unstoppable force.
yeah,
Um, I don't think Pedro Porro is that. I don't think he has, because he's, the times when he's had chances, he's fluffed most of them. He's had so
yeah.
many
He's had
chances.
30 shots, I know, and he scored
Like
one.
before the Burnley wonder goal, he had some 32 shots or something like that. It was an
Yeah.
insane number. So, oh, okay, we've lost Ellie, but uh,
Oh, we lost you there, but you're back. I think that was Pedro Porro. He's interfered. Either way, well, I think he is good as a right wing back, actually, And when Kulu plays in that right wing position, right, he gets a lot of help. So he looks a lot more, he looks more assertive when Kulu's there as well. And he's more confident because he knows Kulu's going to help him. And Romero did it yesterday because he knew Kulu and Johnson wasn't doing it for him. Johnson was coming back, don't get me wrong, but his physicality wasn't there, you know. So I'm happy with Porro. I love him. I think he's
yeah,
done
yeah.
brilliantly for us.
Same
Yeah,
here. I'm
yeah,
very happy with him. I love
yeah,
both our fullbacks.
yeah. Your
And
doggy.
Shanata saying, proo proo.
I love it.
I agree with Greeny and think Johnson needs to believe he's good enough to play for Spurs. As I said, Porro would be great in that front right position. Yeah,
Yeah,
we just, that's what we were saying, Ian. That I agree with you somewhat, but we feel like he's good at right back as well. Like, so I think it's fine. I
yeah,
think he's fine where he is.
yeah,
Rain Man is saying we were told that a 9 with Richie's work rate is exactly what Ange wants. But as Spurs fan, we are so used to a 30 goal Kane. That's what people expect from Richie now.
yeah. Well, he's got 24 more goals to go then, hasn't he? But he's been
Yeah.
assisting as well. I think, has he had 3 or 4 assists as well? Something
Yeah, he
like that.
has.
Yeah,
Richie, right? Yeah, he has. When he was playing on the left, um,
that's it.
is this my internet or yours, Ellie?
I don't know.
Um, so anyway, yeah, I think that he's when he was playing on the left, Sonny scored a few goals with from assists from Richie. So
Yeah,
he has a few,
yeah. And
yeah.
he assisted Kulu, I remember, against Sheffield United.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that match. It doesn't matter, like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's a 2 yard pass or a 30 yard pass. It's still an assist at the end of the day. You still had the
yeah,
presence of mind to lay the ball off. Yeah. Obviously, a 30 yard pass is more impressive to create a goal. Like Romero
yeah,
was doing some beautiful passes yesterday as well from defence.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really think, Romero's passing ability is so underrated. Just a second,
Yeah,
Ellie.
because Adrian was saying that he could play in a 6. He could play our
Yeah.
number 6 in midfield.
Yeah, I actually don't even doubt it. I really think
I
it's
don't doubt it
possible.
either. Yeah.
Yeah. And I am
Oh,
Sagar
we've
is
got
saying
Sar there. We've got Sar. When
Timo
Sar comes
redemption.
back, I
Sorry, Ellie, you were saying?
was going to say we've got Sar in the 6. So I think Sar is fantastic at our number 6 because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
covers
he
so
is.
much ground. All right, he isn't the finished article yet, but he's
Yeah,
getting there. And the more games that he's playing, the more experience he gets under his belt. You know,
yeah,
it's a shame he got injured. Because he was flying. He scored the goal in that game as well, didn't he? So I
yeah.
like Sar. I think he's fabulous.
Yeah, I like Saur as well. I think he's got
Yeah,
such an engine on him. He's just amazing.
yeah,
So I am Sagar is saying Timo redemption arc starts now. I am totally here for it. I hope that happens. Um, it'll be the best arc since the Frieza arc in Dragon Ball Z. It'll be so good.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm here for it. It'll be like an anime, so in
yeah,
Ellie in anime, it's like you'll have this weak character and there'll be like a strong villain, like Chelsea, for example, and the
yeah,
weak character will show the strong villain that in the end their perseverance wins. That's kind of how Timo
Yeah.
Werner will be. And then all the Chelsea fans who were laughing at him are going to be crying their butts off because they'll be somewhere mid-table as they are now a mid-table team, while we will be
Yeah.
in the top four with Timo Werner. And who knows, we could win an FA Cup or what? Who knows where we could go? And just said we're in a title race, so I will believe my manager.
Yeah, with Timo Werner, it's what your expectations are of him, right? Because he's never going to
Yeah,
be a Harry Kane type finisher, but he can still
yeah,
score goals. He knows where the goal is. He's just got to get more accurate,
yeah,
more of his shots on target as well. Because yesterday he skied one, and then he put one quite way past the post when he should have hit the target at least. But you know, sometimes you get like that as a striker. You go through bad patches, but I think he's got a lot to prove. Like I heard a lot of fans, he's got a lot to prove, and
yeah,
I think when he plays at White Hart Lane, he'll play better because it'll be at our stadium and everybody will be behind him. Because we
yeah,
always want our new boys to do well. And I think he will score some goals for us. Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ruth Rubin Murphy is saying morning, ladies. Morning, Ruth.
Morning. Morning, Ruth.
Uh, and my mom's in the house. Nice to watch
Oh,
Ellie back. Wish her good health and happiness.
thank you. Same back to you and all your lovely family.
Matthew saying, I think Werner played good. He just came 3 to 4 days ago, but still his finishing is terrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
his
his
finishing is
general play was
terrible.
good. His general play was good. The way he held the ball up, he waited for players to join him. It's just his
Yeah.
shooting was a bit off.
Yeah, but then the thing is, in that Chelsea team, the problem was that Timo Werner and Kai Havertz were brought together, so they didn't
Yeah,
have anybody who could score. We don't have
I
that
know.
problem. We have Sunny. Like all he needs to do is make the movement, press the ball, give it to Sunny. Sunny will score.
That's
And
it. That's it.
so
That's why Andrew's bought him because his pressing is good. And yesterday his pressing was very good. I was
yeah,
very impressed with him, and he made himself available. He wasn't hiding. Every
yeah,
time we had an attack, he was there to be found, which is a good fit. It's a good sign for the future as well.
absolutely, absolutely. Have you mentioned the Evans elbow on Hoybier's face that
Oh
went
no,
completely unfinished? Yeah, I was really
no.
upset about that.
You think if Romero did that, he would have got sent off?
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
just such a
they would have.
reputation thing. Like,
There's one
I
rule
don't
for one and
understand.
one rule for others.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
like,
he deliberately elbowed him.
yeah,
Hojbjerg must have thought, what's he on? What's he doing? Come on, Johnny Evans. He's
Scott is
jealous
saying
because
if I
Hojbjerg's a Champions League winner. He
can.
really is. We've got two Champions League winners now in our team because Berner won the Champions League as
Yeah,
well.
if I
And
can
before
explain
anyone
better.
says anything, he played 17 games that season. So
Yeah.
half the season he played. That's why he deserves it.
If I can explain better, all played good, but our midfield lacked vision and composure. Only Bentancur gave it, but he has decent vision on passes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that,
I
Scott.
agree with that. I do agree with that. But I thought Skippy done what he could, because they're both players that are not Bentancur. They're not that type of player. You need all sorts of players to have a good midfield. You can't have three creatives. It'd be silly. You've got to have players that will get grinding in. That do all the dirty work that goes
Yeah,
unsung. So like Manchester United, the great Manchester United team, they had Roy Keane in there. You know, he wasn't the prettiest of footballers. He was a very good footballer. Don't get me wrong, but he done all the dirty work. You know, all those hard tackles that he puts in, and all the dirty stuff that like pulling the player back, taking one for the
yeah,
team. You need that bit
yeah,
of that shithousery to get yourself over the line. You can't be nicey in football.
yeah.
Nice teams don't win anything. You've
Nice
got to have
guys
your
finish
hard men
last.
as well. Yeah.
Uh, Samar is saying there was a time when we used to say it's Spurs, don't worry. Yeah, I mean, there's the Sir Alex going to lads, it's Spurs, very famously. But I feel like
Yeah.
people, Samar, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Sometimes like some people are saying that about United now.
Yeah,
I don't agree with it. I think United's still a good team. They still have a lot of, like, once their players are back, I feel like they could put a run together and challenge for Europe.
yeah.
But
When Luke Shaw
but
plays for them, they're a lot better as well.
yeah,
Luke Shaw is a fabulous player, and
but
he joins the attack so well as well.
I will say though that before yesterday's game, like when we go to Old Trafford, I'm sure we're gonna lose. Like I go
Yeah,
there expecting to lose.
yeah,
I don't think that yesterday I felt that way, and I think that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to go to
yeah.
Old Trafford without fear.
Yeah, because we're confident we've got the players who can unlock them, and we're confident because we've seen the way we're playing and the progression we're slowly. There's little bits in every single game that we can see are positives, you know. And in this game, it was like the way we kept the ball and the way we kept on moving it through the middle and got to our attackers really well, more
Yeah,
so than
yeah,
the
yeah,
Manchester City game. Because in Manchester City, I was very impressed the way we played the second half. But this game, I
yeah.
was even more impressed because the way we kept the ball, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're playing very well. You know, there's been games where we haven't played as well, especially against Brighton and Wolves. We didn't play very well, but that's only two games that I can really call out that we didn't play our, a lot of the Ange ball, because there's periods in the games where I see where we sort of lose it a little bit, but then we pull it back. But this game, it was Ange ball. I thought this game, and I think the Newcastle game, yeah, very impressive.
Yeah. South Korea scored, by the way, Hong in bomb. So clearly Bahrain is losing now. So that didn't work out for us. But
Yeah,
Drula saying Hoybier is not a bad player, just not in this system.
yeah, I'll give
Drula,
a standard answer to that. Right, the
yeah,
thing is, right, there's a lot of players who don't suit systems, but they still can be effective in what they do. And you saw that yesterday with Hoybier. He was holding, right? You need a disciplined player in your side. He might not be technically the best player to play Angie's system, but he can still get through it. I understand where you're coming from, Jula, because yeah, he isn't a bad player. He's a good player, and he's a very experienced player. And look what
I
he did
will.
against Burnley. He stopped us from getting a replay with that block because all the defence fell asleep, but he was alive
Mhm.
to it. And you need that type of player who's got a bit more experience than the youngsters because we've got quite a young team, haven't we? You know,
Yeah,
if you look at it, you've got Udogi, you've got Van de Ven, even Romero's quite young. Then you've got Sarr, who's very young. And then you've got Brennan Johnson, who's so young. Kulusevski's only 23. Vicario, he's 26. We've got a very, very young team. So it's nice to have somebody with older shoulders just to
yeah.
just to be there, even if it's off the bench, you know. Because I'm sure Ange sees a lot of qualities in Højbjerg that, he can utilise. Yeah, so I like
I will.
him. He's one of my
I will
he's,
say
he's
this,
my
Ellie.
type of player.
I will say this, Ellie. I think Drula herself is on a redemption arc because she
Yeah.
recently said that Hoybier
Oh,
is the worst player in our team. And so
no.
she is basically getting back into her auntie's good books.
Yeah.
Well, Drula, you,
Because I think most
well
people don't
tried.
think Højbjerg is a bad player. They just think he doesn't suit our system. But there's loads of players who play in systems they're not suited to all around the country. Look at James Milner, right? He's not your typical Liverpool player, but he had a very good career there, because the experience that he had coming from Manchester City, Newcastle, and then he arrives at Liverpool and they start winning, you know.
Yeah,
They won the Champions League against us, they won the league, so and even Jordan Henderson, he's a similar player to Højbjerg, and he fitted in so well with Liverpool because of his experience. You need those type of players in your side. I don't care what anybody says. I think he is a good player. And
yeah.
yeah, he's not the most technical player, but he brings something different to our team.
I mean, Ellie, I'll tell you where I stand with Hoybier. I feel
Yeah,
like yesterday Højbjerg ran around a lot. He covered a lot of territory. So,
Yeah,
in that sense, I would say that he's a professional,
yeah.
responsible player. But the thing is, I think sometimes he overestimates his own skills. Like there was this one time when he got
Yeah,
past two players, and so then he took on the third because he wanted to sort of like um,
I saw
go
that.
past them and then pass the
And
ball.
then he lost
And
it.
at that point, I was just screaming at him. I was just like, "Pass the ball! You are not good enough to do this." You know. And I
I
think that
know. I was even saying that. Pass the
yeah,
ball.
yeah.
Yeah, because
So I
he
think
beat the two players with a bit of skill, and he thought, right, I'm going to go, and he tried to go through the gap, and they got him.
yeah, like you're not prime Ronaldinho. Put some
You're
like
not prime
just some,
Ronaldo, mate. Know
yeah,
your limitations.
yeah,
I know. Yeah, sometimes he does a little bit of extraordinary skill. You think, whoa, where did that come
yeah,
from?
yeah,
He
yeah,
surprises me sometimes, but I know what you mean. You got to know your limitations, Højbjerg.
yeah.
Go with the
So
flow.
El Tel Cockerel is saying, if the content is agreeable to you from these two fantastic ladies, yes, we're fantastic. Ellie, we
Yeah, hit
are.
that like.
Uh,
Yeah,
please show your support by hitting the like button. Hit that
yeah,
like, everyone, and subscribe. And if you're feeling some extra special love for us, you can super chat or get a membership. It's
yeah.
all
And
it's all
also,
happening.
share the link. Either now or after the show finishes, share the link with your friends and your social media hooks, because that really does help put the show out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. So Bernard looks shy and nervous. LOL. Yes, stay humble. I think Warner did look a little. He said himself, I think, after the match that he was a little nervous, and I can't
yeah,
blame him. He's had a unceremonious exit from this Premier League, and when you come back from something like that, you're
mm,
always going to be a little nervous, especially if your first game is at Old Trafford against Manchester United. So
yeah.
that's got to
Well,
make you
look,
nervous.
he won the Champions League with Chelsea, so he can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so Shanata's following the game for us and giving us those updates. If Australia aren't winning the cup, I want Sony to win it with Korea. Shanata,
yeah,
Australia can have the Asian Cup. Let Sony come back. Could not care less about South Korea.
yeah,
Sorry to our Korean fans.
yeah. Come on, knock them out.
Yeah. Stay humble. Because anyway, Spurs is an Australian club now. Clearly, we have so many Australians, so you might as well win the Asian Cup and then send us Sunny back as well. The Australians will do
Yeah,
us another favor because we are Australia's club now.
yeah.
Stay humble is saying Johnson is a boy in a man's game. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because he's a bit physically, and he shoots like a 12-year-old boy. I've heard that said
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Yeah, his
So I
shooting's
think
not on point.
think
But
Japan will win.
yeah,
So I was
you've got
saying,
to give
think
him
Japan will
time.
win Asian Cup. Their menace blue lock is on.
Oh my God,
I love that
Japan.
anime reference.
They're
So
such
Swap,
good footballers, the Japanese.
yeah,
You
they have
know,
Mitoma and
oh my God,
Kubo, and they have so many amazing
fantastic
players.
footballers. And they work so hard for each other as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's their culture, hard-working people. Yeah, and when they go on that football pitch, they impress me.
yeah. Sonny almost had a goal. Bahrain's goalie has made some solid saves. Yeah, I imagine them probably
Okay.
there in a low block.
It's still
They
nil-nil then, I presume.
No, it's one goal by their central midfielder.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. So South Korea are winning 1-0.
yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
Hong In Bomb have had scored a goal.
Okay. Yeah.
Rudesh Gaonkar is saying a deep lying playmaker will make us really good, like number 8, good with ball carrying. What do you think, Ellie? What do you think? What sort of midfielder do you think we need? Because we're in the
Someone like
market for one, right?
I think someone like Paulinho at Fulham would be good because he's deep lying and he's such a good defender as well of the goal, and he can bring the ball forward and he's very physical. Yeah, I think he'll be good for our side because he's an upgrade on Højbjerg because
Yeah.
or someone like or even Gallagher. You know, I prefer Gallagher to Phillips because he's got more about of his game. You know, but I can't see us getting him because he's Chelsea's captain. I can't see him Chelsea letting him go to us. But even Calvin Phillips, if he had played for City more, I would have been more confident to get him because he can bring the ball forward as well. Yeah, there's a little player at Leeds as well. What's his Somerville? I like him as well. He's a very good technical player. Can bring the ball forward. Yeah, but there's lots of players I like. But I think maybe Conor Gallagher might be our best chance. Not of getting him, but the best chance of seeing that type of box to box midfielder. Yeah, but I can't see it
Yeah.
happening. I think we're going to try and get Calvin Phillips on loan, I presume.
Yeah.
But whether Man City will let him go to us, because we're like
Do you
right
want
there,
him?
we're only 3 points behind them. All right, we've played one more game, but we're still in contention.
Do you want Calvin Phillips?
I don't mind him, but I would prefer Conor Gallagher because I think he's all round game, and because he's been playing regularly as well.
Yeah.
I think he'll be more fitter and more ready straight away. Whereas Calvin Phillips, I think he's going to be a bit more like Werner, like he has to bed in, you know, because he hasn't played a lot of football. I think he's played 18 or 19 games in 2 seasons. It's not a lot of football, is it? Yeah, and you get not rusty, but your fitness level drops because match fitness is different from training fitness, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I think he's hardly played any games. I think 18, 19 games. It's not enough. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Rainman saying people need to remember Poro's deep pass for Richie's second goal against Newcastle. He's
Oh,
great in that inverted
unbelievable.
fullback role. I think this is a response to Stay Humble saying Poro is an issue when Sar or Kulu are not there to protect him.
Um, Well, Romero helped him in the second half, all right, but he played well as well because he got a lot of good tackles in that
Yeah,
second half. You know, last ditch tackles as well, which were very impressive. But the way he brings the ball forward and his passing is a joy. You know,
yeah,
we've got to give praise where praise is due, and I think he's probably the best passer apart from Bentancur in our team with the vision because there's passing and there's passing with vision, to pick out a player. Yeah,
So Donna's here saying Namaskar, Aishwarya.
yay.
Namaskar, Donna. And she's also saying Kalimera, Miss
Oh,
Ellie.
lovely. Calimera, Donna.
Is that how you pronounce it?
That's good
Kalimera?
morning. Good morning in Greek. Calimera sas. You got to put the sus in as well. That means good morning
Kalimera
to you
Sas.
all. Yeah.
Stay Humble saying, you really read our every comment, just look for the relevant ones. So Stay Humble, we're still a small channel. So as much as possible, I like to read everyone's comments and see what they're saying. And I love that everyone talks to each other in the chat as well.
Yeah.
It's possible that as we grow, we may not be able to read all the comments and we may have to like put some up and just leave them there for you all to read. But as long as possible, as long as physically possible, I'd like to sort of acknowledge everyone who's come in and sort of hear them out because I feel like I want to build a community on this channel, a community of people who love football. And I feel like Jose and Colin, they feel the same way about both Talking Ball and El Tel Cockerel, that they want to build a
Yeah.
community. And so like that's the point of these channels. It's not because like when you have channels that are small like this, it's not about gaining any monetary advantage from it. It's about building community and building support around the team you love and the game you love.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Ash.
How old is Skip
Harold.
now?
I think he's 24. I think he's 24. I might be wrong, but I think he's 24. Yeah. Anyway, anybody in the chat, let us know. I think he is. I don't think he's 25
Donna,
yet.
sorry, Kokila Modi.
Hey,
Um,
what a
I'm
good
not.
name.
I'm definitely not reading that. After that whole spiel I said about reading every comment, I will skip that. You can.
I don't know what it said, but it must have been something you don't want to read.
Yeah, so I mean it's so so Donna, I think it's Donna. I have a sneaky suspicion that Donna makes like these Hindi soap opera lines up, and she puts them
Yeah,
on her channels, and she comes as Hindi supervillains, like you know, like vamps in like Bold and
yeah.
Beautiful.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, Donna's nothing if not creative.
Yeah,
So we love Spurs is saying I'm more nervous about the City game. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, same here.
I'm not nervous, you know. I'm really not nervous about that game because they haven't scored at our stadium. We always beat them at our ground. I think it's six
Yeah,
games now we've beaten them. So, and we do very well at their ground. I think they've only beaten us twice. We've beaten them and drawn twice. So
yeah.
we've got one over Man City.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to not score against us when we're playing
Yeah.
at our new stadium. They haven't, not yet. So long may that go on. Come on, let's knock them out the FA Cup.
Daniel is saying good morning. One love, Daniel.
One
Our
love,
chef from
one
Bolivia
heart.
who's cooking with paratici. Shanata saying, yeah, to be honest, I think Japan is gonna win. Blue Lock was truly cooking.
Yeah,
Um, So, Kismat, so this is basically Hiren. Hiren is my buddy from Mumbai Spurs, who I saw the match with.
lovely.
I love Hiren. He's part of the Furniture on White Chart Lane, which is our
Yeah,
like Hindi show that we do on this channel.
I love
Um,
it.
so hi Hiren. Spurs Live is saying big up Ash and Ellie. Hi Spurs Live.
Yeah, that's
And
Josh. I love Josh.
yeah, I love Josh as
A
well.
lovely kid. So enthusiastic when he presents. You know,
Yeah,
he's so lovable to see
yeah, and
someone
he's
that
so
joyous about Spurs as well. You
and
know,
Ellie is so young. He's so
so
young, but like
young. I
he's
think he's about
so
17, 18, maybe.
he's
He's
so
not that
knowledgeable.
very knowledgeable, and he's so enthusiastic about our club, which I love. Because sometimes
Yeah,
you go on the streams and there's a little bit not negativity, but they're calling out things that they think are wrong with our club, and you know. But sometimes you just want to hear about the nice side of Spurs as well. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I like to think I'm fairly balanced.
yeah,
I don't see the point of sort of like I'm one of those people who will point out all the bad things, but I'll do it along with the good, and I'll mention
yeah,
both equally. Like
yeah,
I think what happens is people say, "Oh, I mentioned that Kulu was good or this person was good." They'll
yeah.
mention the people who are good, but then they'll mention that once, and then they'll mention the bad things 5 times. It has to, it can't be, and then they'll say, "Look, I did both."
Balance.
it,
Yeah,
it, it's not the same. Like you have to give equal time to the good and the bad.
yeah,
I understand that you get liked more often, you get more clicks, people want to hear like clickbait stuff where it's sensational and talking about all the bad things so then everyone can mourn together. And there's a honesty to that as well, because there are things that are wrong
yeah.
sometimes,
Of
and like for
course.
example, like our transfer policies in the past, I've mourned and cribbed about them so often.
Yeah,
But when the club gets something right, we also have to sort of point that out. I think it
yeah.
has
Of
to be
course.
balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's like, you know, when you go for a nice meal, like if you go for a nice Indian curry, for example, at the best, and like you get seven dishes that are lovely and then one's not so good. And
Yeah,
the positive person will always big up the seven good things, but the
yeah,
person on the other side, they say, well, that weren't good. And then they'll harp on about that one bad thing over the top, OTT, and not praise the good things. So you have, like you
yeah,
said, you have to have a balance.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Hiren saying, I'm a bit nervous about City as well, but there are rumors that Matters might be back. If Matters is
mm.
back, we are definitely winning.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's not even back in training. I don't think.
Yeah.
And they said
Definitely next.
mid-February. would be
I think
the
he will be
earliest.
next week. He'll be back in
Maybe he'll be
training
back
next
in
week.
training next week, but then he has to get his fitness up. But
Fitness up,
I'm
yeah.
sure I saw on the club's website that it'd be mid-February that we'll see him
Yeah.
back. Yeah, but you never know, because like Romero, we didn't expect to be back, did we?
Yeah. But I don't think Maris will be back. And even if he is back, they have KDB back as well. So it's not
Yeah,
like it'll be a pretty like hard contest. I mean, I would have loved to play this game with Sunny because Sunny against City is inevitable. He will get a
yeah,
goal no matter when he plays City, how he plays
yeah.
City.
He loves,
He's just one of those
yeah,
players who loves the goal against
yeah. He
City.
loves a goal against Man City, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But without him, I don't feel as confident.
no. But I still think we can get a win. But it's going to be tough. Just put it that way. I don't think they've got Haaland's injured, isn't he? But I'm not sure because
Yeah.
it's on the 27th. It's played, so he's got a lot of time to recover. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see if we
Sh-
can recover some of our players as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shinata saying Bahrain got a goal on the 51st minute. Oh no,
Wow.
then Shinata saying Lee Kangin
And then
goal. So 2-1.
2-1.
Uh,
Right.
damn it! I thought we were in for a upset there. Oh well. Um. Adrian saying 18 games to go, 54 points up for grabs, 32 points should get us ECL football, as 72 points on average has got ECL football since the inauguration of
Yeah.
the Premier League in 1992. So 11 more wins. I think we
Yeah.
can manage
We
that.
can do that. Yeah.
Adrian, I will just say that while that's technically true, um, we also have to think about the fact that our competition can also get that. So everyone's so close together in terms of points
Mm.
that there are a lot of teams who can get those that many points.
Yeah, we just have to be the one team that maybe gets more than 72 points and
Yeah.
seals it. Yeah.
Swap is saying one thing you can agree on. I predicted a draw, but a 1-1 draw.
Yeah. I predicted 2-2 on one thing, but I put 3-1 on the talking ball to us. So that's how I thought we were going to win 3-1. It could
Yeah,
have been
I
that
did
score.
three. I think I did 3-2 or 3-1, something like that as well.
Yeah.
Um, and I think if we had a bet, if I back then we didn't know that Kulu was injured, so I
Yeah, I
think if Kulu
know.
was back, it could have been that.
Yeah, definitely.
Also because Kulu helps on the right defensively, so if he was, um, like if he was playing in the midfield, it would have been better. If he was playing on the right, like he would have just been better. It would have been better if Kulu
Yeah.
was playing.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're better with Kulu.
Good morning, guys. Big up, international
Big
observer in the
up.
house.
Yeah.
Big up.
Mm.
Um, so Swap is saying he's fit to train now, according to sources. He's training alone now. Oh yeah, so he's
Ah,
basically on the grass
okay.
training.
Yeah, so that he doesn't pick up an injury as well. Because
Yeah.
even Dane Scarlett got injured in training, didn't he?
Yeah. Tomorrow
Yeah.
he will join the team. Kulu not injured. He was sick. Yes.
Yeah,
He
he
had
was.
norovirus.
Norovirus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Uh,
nice.
like I don't understand what it is with these viruses and stuff and food and stomach illnesses with Spurs. Like it's like lasagna gate 2.0.
Oh no. They follow us
It's
around.
always these stomach things.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
know.
weird. Anyway, so I feel like we strode away from the discussion, but we kind of covered almost all the point, like the basic points.
Yeah.
The
We covered
only
all the
thing I think
bases.
The only thing that I feel like we haven't covered is who you thought your player of the match was, and final thoughts on the game.
My player of the match was 100% Benton Core because he was fabulous yesterday. He just showed his true class. He was absolutely brilliant on the ball, off the ball, his movement, his vision. I think he's a fabulous player and he took his goal so beautifully with his left foot as well. And he's not naturally left footed. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think he was great. And he gelled the whole midfield. He made everybody look better. as well,
Yeah.
which is a sign of a great player. And my final thoughts on the match is that we should have won it. We deserved to win it, and it's a shame that we just got a draw in at the end of it. But before the match, I wouldn't have taken that, but I would have said it was still a good result to go to Old
Uh,
Trafford, because even though they're in a bit of a slump, they're still Manchester United and they still got their big crowd behind them. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy that we got a draw in the end, but 3 points would have been better. Yeah,
yeah, I agree with you. I I would have loved to have done the double over them because we haven't
yeah,
done that. Um, but that's it's still Manchester United. Doing the double on
yeah,
Manchester United is always going to be a hard thing to do. And I think we've gone away to both the Manchester clubs, and we've got a point away at both. And I think
yeah.
that's quite amazing as a feat for a manager. I feel like Ange's record against the top six clubs has been pretty decent, like
Mm,
the traditional top six, top four. You know, Ange's done
yeah,
pretty well against them, and he's gone to Arsenal away, he's gone to United away, he's gone to City away, and he's gotten a point out of all three games despite conceding early goals.
yeah,
So I appreciate that, because in any other season we would have just lost those games, because those are
yeah.
games we
True.
expect to lose.
And also
Um,
at home, we beat Newcastle, who finished in the top four last season.
yeah,
All right, they've not been as good this season because they've had the Champions League to contend with,
yeah,
but they're out of that now. So, yeah, we can push on. We can even finish higher than fourth.
hmm,
Like we get our players back, especially, and because we were cooking the first 10 games, 8 wins and 2 draws. We repeat that, we've got a chance. We've got a chance of
yeah,
even winning the league, as long as the other teams can slip up as well, because they will get the same sort of results as us. So we've got to go one better than them and probably get
hmm,
10 wins out of 10 in our last
yeah,
10, you know?
yeah.
Because I can't see Man City slipping up very much.
Yeah, but Ellie, have you seen April? We play Liverpool,
Yeah,
Arsenal, and City.
yeah.
That's
If we can
just
get 3 wins there, that'd be absolutely fabulous because we put ourselves in that block where we can win the league. I'm
yeah,
not saying we will do it, but we'll put ourselves there. And then it's how you handle that pressure. We saw it with Arsenal last season when they bottled it. Can we hold our nerve? Because Man City have got all that experience. But even them, they've got new players that have come into their team that are not as good as their previous players. I must add that. They're not as good. They're really good, but they're not as good because they lost
hmm,
Gundogan and Mahrez, two fabulous players, you know. And I don't think they have actually replaced them, but they've still got De Bruyne and Rodri. When you've got those two,
yeah,
and then you've got Bernardo Silva, who scored a fabulous goal at Newcastle. So we've got to be on our guard. We've got to be on our
yeah.
best.
No,
We've got
Ellie,
to be at our best.
Kevin De Bruyne is a cheat code. Like, he's a cheat code. He can just, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
what team he enters. 15 minutes left in the game,
yeah,
he gets a goal, he gets an assist, bang, the game is over.
yeah,
My
yeah,
God, that man is a cheat code. I cannot describe how unfair it is to the rest of the world that Man City has Kevin De Bruyne. But
yeah. He's a cheat goal with bad hair now because his hair
yeah.
it
My God,
wasn't
he
good.
started looking like Jack Grealish from the back.
Yeah,
For a second, I thought it was Jack Grealish. I was like, what is happening?
I heard that a lot. Jack Grealish from behind.
It is Jack Grealish from behind.
But then he's not as pretty as Jack Grealish when he turns round.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
the
God,
Home
yeah.
Alone version of Jack Grealish.
He needs to go to the hairdresser. He looks like he's been lounging at home. You know when you go into that man cave and you come out like a grizzly bear.
Samarth is saying his player of the match was Romero. Anyone else have
Yeah,
any other player of the matches? As a United fan, Romero, no doubts. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
think as a United fan, especially that second half,
Oh
Romero
yeah.
really bossed them around. So I feel for Samarth.
He
Uh,
stepped up, didn't he, Romero?
yeah, yeah.
Fabulous. I just gave it to Bentancur because of his vision, you know.
Yeah, same
Like,
here.
just that extra bit
I
of je ne sais quoi.
yeah, that it's just that X factor, like you said, the je ne sais
Yeah,
quoi. It's like this thing that Bentancur has. It's just this beautiful that there's this beautiful simplicity to the way he plays the game.
yeah.
And it's just so wonderful to watch that you can't help but just watch it. Uh,
Because in the olden days, they used to say football's a simple game. It really is. Some players make it look hard, but Bentancur is so graceful. He makes it look so easy. You know,
yeah.
lovely player. I love him.
Tulsi Virani, another one of wink wink. I think it's Donna. Um,
Yeah,
Meko uh,
yeah,
saying, well, actually, you know what, Donna, I'm not going to translate. We'll do this on White Chat Lane when we speak in Hindi.
yeah.
Um, so Hiren saying a Bentancur man of the match for me, but I think Poro's performance went a bit under the radar.
Yeah, especially the second half, because Porro did step up and he done
Yeah,
some lovely balls and his set pieces were on point. And Romero was very unlucky not to score. He hit the bar, didn't
yeah.
he? Ah,
I think with that, we should call an end to the show. As Jose is saying,
yes,
if the content is agreeable to you from these two fantastic ladies, please show your support by hitting the like button.
yeah.
Ellie, where can we find you?
Well, you'll find me on Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, obviously, with our
With the
lovely Kate. And then I'm always on Talk and Ball. I love that. I love your show. It's fabulous. I love Keep West Ham or Sell. Love that. That's fantastic. And you can't beat that James Madison song. My team's
yeah,
got James
James
Madison.
Madison.
You've got to do it with a gruff voice, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and you know, anywhere I get invited on, or that I just join the stream because it's an open stream. You know, any chance to talk about Tottenham, I'm there. Yeah, just like you, Ash. We love our
yeah,
club. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, everyone, please go to Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, so that you can see more of Ellie. More of Ellie
yeah.
is always good because she's my favorite person on the internet. So everyone, please go
And you're
check
my
Ellie out.
favourite. Yeah, do you know
Oh,
what? And
thank
also, I
you.
want to give a big shout out to the Free Spurs boys, Bobby K.
Yeah,
Come on. They're
yeah,
fantastic. Get over there and subscribe, everybody. Help them out
yeah.
because they're lovely people. These two boys, Chris and Jay, they're fantastic. You know, and Bobby himself, he's so funny. He's the funniest man with Coover on Coover and the Kang. Brilliant. I love them.
Yeah, and
Shout out to them.
everyone,
And the
I will
Irish
be.
Hotspur as well, because I love Dave and Jack. They're
Yes,
absolutely
sub to
brilliant.
everyone. All the Spurs
Yeah,
channels. We love Spurs, so we should all be on
yeah.
all of
Just a
them.
special mention for those two as well. And
Yeah.
obviously my girl Kate on Just a Girl. And Mia on Spurs Between the Lines, because she's fabulous as well. Brilliant, brilliant content every day.
Thank you, Nick. Were you around, Nick? I feel
Nick
like,
Brown,
yeah,
has he
yeah.
just come in?
Uh, thanks,
Anytime
thanks
you
anyway,
come in
Nick.
is good. Anytime you come in is good, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and everyone, the Indian people, I will release my match reaction in Hindi for White Chart Lane. So please,
Yes.
please have a look at that. And as usual, we end with. Wait, I have to find it first. We end with the James Madison song.
Yay!
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got